Morning, guys. I hope you're doing well today. Yeah, I haven't done this in a long time, but let's try and do it. I hope we can still do it still. Uh, I was looking at something the other day. Basically, I was looking at the pricing structure, or how we price our product, or how one would price their product. With my experience working with small businesses, I've realized that pricing is one thing that can make or actually destroy your business. So don't mind my background here. I know it's a little bit. We'll get into that, but let's just go into the pricing. So when we look at the pricing, basically, how you price your product, it depends on what product you're selling or what services you offer. And there is no magic rule for pricing, and it depends from area to area. But we'll just talk about it. It's just a friendly chat, so nothing serious. So the first rule we can look at when we're pricing, no matter what happens or no matter what you're selling, your price must never ever be below your cost price. And I know the cost price is quite a broad subject on its own, so we won't go deeper into it, but I'll just try and simplify things. Your cost price is what you pay to get the end product. So before your time, before your salaries, etc., we look at your rent and the cost to make that product if you're making the product, or the cost to have that product in your shelf. That is, if you're selling a can of Coca-Cola, so your cost would be your delivery charges and the cost to the supplier. So I'll say, if I say my cost is 8 rand, so that means I bought the product maybe for 7 rand 50, and I pay 50 cents per product to bring it into the shop. So whatever you do, try not to sell your product below cost. That's the number one rule. Actually, that is the only rule that we're going to have today. So when we price your products now, there are other tactics that we can look at. Actually, in this video, we're going to use one product as an example to keep simplify things. Let's say we're selling Coke, 400 mils cans or whatever product we choose, but let's just stick to Coca-Cola. We're selling our Coca-Cola 400 mils. So now, if we're talking about the market-related pricing, we'll say now we're selling a Coca-Cola, we're in a mall. Now we look at our competition. We say, okay, the next guy is selling that Coca-Cola for 12 rand 50, and then the next guy maybe sells it for 13 rand, etc. So how am I going to price my product? So I may try and make it as cheap as possible, or be the cheapest basically, and say, okay, I'm going to price my product at 11 rand. I know my cost, we say it is 8 rand, so I'm selling it for 11 rand. So now when the next guy brings down their price, I also bring down my price, maybe to match their price or be a few cents lower. So that is one pricing method. But you see, when you look at that pricing method, it reminds me of, remember when we had all these supermarkets, we had all these shops, everywhere we had them. That was before the spaza shops. Now, the spaza shops came in and they destroyed that market. What did they do? They underpriced everyone, so that basically you couldn't compete with them. So you put the bread at 17 rand, they go at 17 rand 50. Put it at 17 rand 50, they go at 16 rand 50, until they suffocated them, that market, and they had the whole market share. So pricing your products based on that market basically, or based on the competition, is not always an advisable option. Okay. Now, let's talk about another method. So I've got this guy that normally comes here to help me with my plumbing. Let's call him Joe. We don't want to mention any names today. So Joe comes in, he does the plumbing. Now, not just to me, to other people maybe. So he comes in, he assesses the situation, says, okay, I see now there's that Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon parked there, there's that other car, and this is a beautiful house. And then he's going to go, okay, my fee for today is going to be 600 rand. Okay, so now he's charging his pricing based on the environment, or based on weighing what the customer can pay for that service. So now you'll come to me and say, hey, this guy now, he doesn't have anything, he doesn't have any money, as you can see, he's a poor guy. So he says, okay, my fee will be 250 Rand. So that's the same job. The first guy was 650 Rand. To me, it was 250 Rand. Maybe to the next person, it's going to be 400 Rand, etc. So it doesn't have a set price, but his customers, the way that he weighs them, he judges just, let's say he judges the book by the cover. So whatever price he decides is not static. It's not going to be the same to the next customer and the next customer. So that is another pricing method, and I know a lot of customers that I deal with use that method, so no judgment there. But the problem with that is your business will not grow if you're using that pricing method, because you need to respect the services, the products that you sell, so that basically you've got this fee. If my call-out fee is 350 Rand, it doesn't matter who I go to, they're going to pay that 350 Rand. It gives your business a little bit more respect, and it gives you an advantage to basically budget ahead and know what you're getting in the business. Yeah. Now, the other method that people use to price their products actually reminds me of my other friend. Let's call him Ken. Okay. You see, when he was starting up, Ken, he had so many customers because he's actually very good at what he does. I've never met anyone as persistent and as good as he is. So he's so good at what he does. But now, when he started out, his pricing was really low. So he had so many customers, so many referrals. So he had a shitload of customers coming to him. And he was offering the same service, same fee, etc. But the only problem was he was too affordable. Even though the pricing he was charging was, let's say, market related, so the next guy that was offering the same service will charge the same. But now, because his product was exceptional, people always came to him. So the biggest issue that you have with that, when you've got a product that is so good that people come to you, they end up queuing, you've got so many people in the shop, is, let's put it this way. So you've got a Ferrari. Now you're trying to sell those Ferraris to like hundred thousands of people. So it won't work. It might destroy your business in the long run. So what he did is he multiplied his rates by 4 to try and get rid of customers. Yes, that's a possibility. Some people will try and get rid of the customers to improve the quality of your product. Sometimes you have to do that. That's why you've got as Gucci bags, Ferraris, Lamborghinis. They don't try to compete with Toyota in sales or in the number of cars that they produce. So if you've got an exceptional product, you have got at least a power in charging whatever amount you want to charge for that product. So he multiplied his price or his rate by 4, and he still was too busy. So what he did, he went ridiculous. So he multiplied his pricing, his rate by 10 times. And now, instead of just giving, like, let's say an extra, like a normal service, he improved his service and he offered more for that. So you find out in a month, you would only save 4 clients. But with those 4 clients, he will pay his bills for the next 6 months. So sometimes you would have 2 clients in a month, sometimes 3 clients, sometimes more than that. So you're having less clients to deal with, but now they pay for all the bills that you have in the business. So that is another way of pricing your product. You look at your product, you say, okay, this product has got value, it competes with 1, 2, 3, but now because I offer so much above 1, 2, 3, I can afford to charge this much. That's another way. Okay. Then the other thing we need to look at as well that limits our pricing is the location. So the other time I bought a cell phone charger. I think it was like just your basic Android charger. I bought it for 25 Rand at this place. So I normally pay 69 Rand for the same cable. elsewhere. But now, because this place was like right in in the middle of a, let's say, I can't remember what township it was, but your pricing will depend on what the people in that area can pay for that product or think that product is worth. So if you've got an Android charger, you're selling it at 25 Rand, that means maybe you started off at 59 Rand and then you're sitting with so much stock, you drop the price down 40 Rand and then you get maybe a few more sales, then you drop it even further to 30 Rand and then 25 Rand I guess. I know the cost of those cables is 18 Rand normally, so they buy them for 18 Rand. So now he'd rather make 6 Rand profit than have so much stock sitting there. So he's moving more products at a lower profit margin. So your location will determine what price you charge. Because it doesn't matter if you're selling gold or you're selling diamond necklaces, but if the market around you cannot afford those, then your product quality or whatever you value does not even mean anything. Right, chaps. I think we'll talk again sometime soon. So I try and find some time so that we can discuss more topics on this. I hope your business is as good as it should be. Thank you.